Hello, it's John Dressett, and this is the introduction to the Kronos Classic User Interface video. It's really primarily directed towards the managers in the company. You'll be using your manager account to log in and view the features that I'll be showing you. And while you're watching this video, if you click on this little icon on the screen, it will expand to the full screen and you'll be able to see the details a little bit better. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is the Kronos Navigator interface. It's the interface that we chose to roll out with the program when we first implemented the program here at Ace Parking. There are actually two different interfaces for Kronos. There's what they now call the Classic interface, which is the original interface, and this Navigator interface. This one is notable because you can move things around like this and expand and contract these widgets. When you actually get into the time card, this is a component of the original interface, and the Classic interface looks very much like this. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right over to it. To get to the Classic user interface, you go to classic.aceparking.com, point your browser to that URL, and the login looks very much the same. And there we go. This is the Classic user interface. This interface it does not have all the overhead of those expandable and shrinkable widgets, and so it may perform a little bit better for you if you're at a location that has a slow link or on a slow computer. As we get in here and we look around, you can see that you can drill into the time cards by clicking on any of the employees, and everything is just expanded. You don't have to worry about expanding and shrinking different things on the screen to move around and navigate. Some of the features that I like about it are you can get over here to the actions selection here, and if you drop that down, choose this select all, and all of your employees will become highlighted. You can deselect individual employees if you want to by using the control key and your left mouse button to deselect those employees. And then once you have the list that you want, you can right click and say view time card, actually just time card, and you go into the time cards, and what you've done now is you've loaded up all the time cards of the employees you selected, and you can now sequentially step through them by using these buttons up at the top. And when you make edits to the time cards, you'll stay right within the time card after you press the save button and be able to finish up and then move on to the next employee. So you may find that that makes the process of getting through the employee time card edits a little bit quicker for you. Should perform this sequential movement of the time cards should perform a lot better for you if you're on a slow link. And getting down here, a couple of other notable features that these also exist in the Navigator interface, but I just wanted to point them out. On the Accruals tab, you have the vacation and sick balances for your employees, and over here on the Audits tab, you can actually see where the punches are coming in from by selecting Punch, and then looking over here in the user column, and you'll see that the phone number that was used to dial in and make the punch is recorded here in this column, and if they punched in on a time clock, it would have the time clock name. Also, if you've been editing any of the punches on your time cards, you'll see that your edit entries will also be listed here in this list. A couple of other things we have up here at the top, we have a My Genies tab, and genies are just like custom searches within Kronos. And when we first entered the program, it ran this genie here called General Information, and there's also a quick find that you can use to search for employees. If you have a lot of them, you can type in a few characters of the employee's last name and hit find and get right to those employees. And as well, at the end of the pay period, when you're working on your meal penalties, if you're dealing with those, you can run the meal penalty genie for the current or previous pay period and get an idea of what meal penalties you have to deal with. And you can see I can just drill into this one now. Here's my meal penalty right here, and I could just mark it as reviewed, or I could go ahead and make an entry to offset it if that is something that you should be doing. Meal penalties are a special circumstance and only dealt with by the California managers, but bear in mind that if you're doing that, you need to be following the proper rules that go along with them. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And fact, I just won't save the time card. So if you notice that if I try and move off of this time card, that it will warn me. So I'm going to say go ahead and leave page. I could stay on the page and hit save and save my changes, but I don't need to do that in this case. Alright, so when you get to the end of the pay period and you need to run the reports, I wanted to show you something about the reports. Go over here to the reports selection on the general tab and look at the time card time detail report, which is right here. A lot of people just run this report by just hitting this button right here, but and they never realize that there are options that go along with it. If you click on this tab, you'll get these set options, and you can put a page break in between each one of the time cards for your employees by setting that to yes. So you'll have this employee page break set to yes right here, and you can as well you can adjust the time period that the report runs by or runs on by changing this little dialog box right here. You have previous pay period, or you can go today or yesterday or a specific range of dates. So that may provide some value for you. So I'll run it for the current pay period, and I'll go ahead and run this report. See, it's sitting here in this waiting state. It doesn't refresh the screen for me when I'm looking at the screen because this is a web interface. So in order to get it to update, you need to press this button right here called refresh status, and now you see that it tells me that it's complete. And I'll go ahead and view that report, and there's my report. So I'm going to shut that back down, back over here, and bring up the general information query. And that's pretty much a quick introduction to this interface. We will be rolling out scheduling soon. There'll be another tab up here called scheduling. This video is being made in February, so if you're viewing it later in the year, you may already see that tab on your account, but that will be coming next. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and log off and then sign out. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you next time around. Thank you.